It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood.
Hello Kennesaw, I'm Derek Easterling, your mayor. Thank you for joining me for the online presentation of the State of the City 2020. President George Washington said, "The welfare of our country is the great object to which our cares and efforts ought to be directed, and I shall derive great satisfaction from a cooperation with you in the pleasing, though arduous task of ensuring to our fellow citizens the blessings which they have a right to expect from a free, efficient, and equal government." President Lincoln commented, "The dogmas of the quiet past are inadequate to the stormy present. The occasion is piled high with difficulty, and we must rise with the occasion." Although the circumstances were different when he spoke these words, our world is nonetheless still troubled today, and we must come together to find victory. Every year, it's the same thing. We fall into a routine, expect certain things to be said, and we compare where we are to where we've been. Percentages are rattled off, hoping you understand a reduction here is good and an increase there is awesome. Economic development has its own secret language. Tax collection is an unspoken language, and principles and values are a language lost but to a few in the political dogmas of this day and age. On a national level, compromise has replaced mutually beneficial results. Tolerance has moved acceptance off the playing field, and conversation has been replaced by abbreviated text, tweets, and GIFs. But here in this small Georgia city, the community we call home, there's a different language being spoken. The language spoken here contains words and phrases such as accountability, customer-focused, proactive, respect, value-driven, and much, much more. And this is also the place where we set our expectations and determine how we rise above the fray. Where do you focus your time and energy? What's in your circle of concern? How is your circle of influence? Effective or not so? There are many things we, as individuals, may be concerned about. Our health, family, the stock market, the war on terror, personal financial wealth, and etc. But let me ask, within your circle of concern, how many concerns do you have actual control over? If we were to delve deep into the topic of influence, you would discover there are 3 levels of control: direct, indirect, and no control. But for now, we'll stay basic. By focusing and being proactive about what you have control or influence over, you become more effective and influential. This is how we see the city's role and the idea that government should be effective and efficient by acting on what you have control and influence over. Yes, the city is concerned about what happens around us in the county and across the state, what legislation will do for our community, and whatever it is our Congress and Senate are doing in Washington, D.C. Personally, I love my country. I love the land in which we live, and I believe in our government, and I'm concerned about what decisions are made in D.C. But the 2 questions I have to ask myself each day is, what influence or what control do I have about their actions? And what's within my circle of influence? And this is where our city has done so well over the past 4 years. We have continually focused on what we have influence or control over and approached each challenge proactively. Let me expand on the word proactive. Proactive is not only doing things before they need to be done or being anticipatory. Being proactive means being positive in response and knowing you have the power to choose your response. The city of Kennesaw embodies a positive vibe or energy in their common sense approach to business, economic development, customer service, planning and zoning, and in every other aspect of the services we provide. At the heart of the city's circle of influence are the businesses, the people who operate and maintain these businesses, and the citizens who live in this community. The cities work diligently to become more self-aware of the needs and at being proactive in responding to these needs. Organizations who are proactive are value-driven and their people are strong in principle. As a result, their circle of influence increases. Now this describes Kennesaw very well. The city of Kennesaw is effective because of our integrity and our commitment to keep promises, to do what we say we're going to do. We are aware of our weaknesses and areas which need improvement. And where we don't have influence, we know how to communicate our needs and work in a collaborative effort to achieve the desired result. The individuals who make up the City of Kennesaw team also know this to be true and are similarly focused. They live principle-centered lives. They are self-aware and embody the spirit of commitment to achieving mutually beneficial results between the city and those we serve. Their effort and commitment to the citizens of Kennesaw and the surrounding community is true and steadfast, and it's built on principles of character which make the city great and everything we do possible. We refer to it as respect: responsible, ethical, safe, professional, engaged, connected, and transparent. Ladies and gentlemen, when you have the opportunity, say thank you to the remarkable staff for their performance. 2020 marks the beginning of my second term as mayor of this great city, and we've journeyed far since my first day on the job. Now, if you were present for the first State of the City, or you got to hear it online, you may remember I compared leading the city as being similar to driving a submarine. The destination may not always be visible, but if you focus on your job, what's within your purview of responsibility, and you trust each person aboard to do their job well to achieve success, you'll arrive on target. But occasionally, you need to come up to periscope depth and obtain a position fix using satellite navigation. You want to be sure you are on track and where you think you are. And sometimes, you simply have to let everyone know where you are. And today is just such a day. 2019 proved to be an awesome year for the city of Kennesaw, and no department highlights that more than public safety, including 911 and the Kennesaw Police Department. Leading the way in 911 is Linda Davis. Her department is always busy. Every time I go upstairs to visit, they're on the phone. Well, last year, 911 answered more than 103,000 calls, more than 23,000 emergency calls, and 80,000 non-emergency calls. They're fully staffed. All operators are state certified, and most significantly, the department obtained Commission on Accreditation for Law Enforcement Agency status. The department scored 100% in 185 out of 205 categories. The other 20 categories didn't count. Our own Bill Westenberger and the Kennesaw Police Department have made significant progress with the Kennesaw Community Watch Program. It's a program designed to identify and register businesses and homeowners with cameras and alarms to aid in identifying suspects and/or patterns of crime. The department successfully completed crisis intervention training for our officers. This training is designed to assist officers in working with citizens challenged with various levels of mental illness. Our crisis assistance program is in full operation too, and is designed to focus on our vulnerable community in areas of elder abuse, mental illness, and alcohol-drug addiction. They obtained state recertification and their fourth consecutive Commission on Accreditation for a Law Enforcement Agency status. Scott Banks and the rest of our team in our building and construction department are always focused on the customer and work tirelessly to create successful results. In 2019, Building and Construction issued 2,123 permits. They collected more than $996,000 in fees, and the valuation of these permits exceeded $323 million. They conducted 2,700 inspections and 602 site visits. Using the technology fee, they have gone to electronic plan review and permit issuance. All permits and plans are saved on iWorks or an internal server. The electronic files have been helpful in responding more quickly and efficiently to customer questions. In response to citizen input through our 2016 community-wide survey, the city took the first step in creating additional positions for code enforcement and launched a new code enforcement division within building services. They now investigate more than 200 cases each week. The finance department, under the leadership of Gina Auld, is always looking to improve the bottom line and how business is conducted. Responsible and value-driven describe their efforts well. Last year, Gina and the team developed an online payment and reporting portal for businesses to renew their licenses and report and remit their excise taxes. They were awarded the Government Finance Accounting Office Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. 19 consecutive years, Gina and her team have accomplished this. 19 years. She issued a request for proposal for banking services resulting in a higher yield and higher earnings credit, which offsets all bank charges. This saves the city $20,000 annually. We held the third property tax sale, resulting in the collection of delinquent taxes. More than $500,000 has been collected since the first tax sale 3 years ago. We increased the general fund reserves, resulting in a positive unassigned fund balance for the first time since the recession in 2008. And give me a drum roll, please. For the first time in 12 years, the city did not borrow money to keep rolling forward into the new fiscal year by using a tax anticipation note. This was $4 million eliminated in 4 years. When you think of quality of life, most people think about things to do and places to go. But what's available near me? The efforts of Steve Roberts and his team at Parks and Recreation resulted in Swift Cantrell being voted Cobb County's best dog park. The perfect execution of a truly successful Pigs and Peaches with over 40,000 people in attendance. They partnered with Cobb Travel and Tourism to create strategic plans for improved economic and social impact. They're currently updating the 10-year master park plan to meet the future demands of our community. In total, Parks and Rec conducted 18 events. The department offered 31 programs with 600 classes and had more than 4,600 participants. On top of all this, Parks and Rec renovated 2 pocket parks in Butler Ridge and McCollum Park neighborhoods. They replaced the outdoor basketball court in the Deerfield neighborhood, and a couple of weeks ago, on January 9th, we cut the ribbon on a fabulous inclusive playground at Swift Cantrell. In less than 8 months, this project progressed from a request for a special needs swing to the most amazing inclusive playground you will ever see. Just look at the children in the video, together on one playground. I also want to highlight our inclusive programs at both the Southern Museum and Smith Gilbert Gardens. Both venues have sensory areas and programs available for all visitors. And there will be more about Parks and Rec a little later in the presentation. The biggest challenge faced by planning and zoning has been to right the ship with regard to consistency in design standards and the creation and implementation of form-based code. Daryl Simmons and the team were looking into the future for possibilities and have completed the adoption of the City Cemetery Strategic Plan, adoption of the Public Art Master Plan, establishment of 2 entertainment districts, a new sign ordinance. And in 2008, the Economic Development and Planning and Zoning staff created and submitted a redevelopment area map for adoption by the city. Within this map, 14 high priority areas were identified. Over the last 4 years, with efforts based in producing and approving architectural design standards, the blight ordinance, form-based code, code enforcement, and efforts involving community engagement planning studies, 9 target areas have been redeveloped. I'm certain you've seen Ricky Stewart and our Public Works team members everywhere in and around the city. They have worked diligently on numerous projects, including Pine Mountain Road, Pine Mountain Way, Pine Mountain Court improvements, which included improved signaling along the entire route. Stanley Road, Collins Road, complete. Depot Park, Phase 7. This project included grading of the park footprint, installing new storm drainage under the CSX line, and improving the wetland area. Projects they are currently working on include the Ben King Road Improvement Project, which is in the design phase. Easements are being acquired. The project will consist of adding a center turn lane as well as sidewalks and a multi-use trail. The expected completion date is summer 2021. Old Highway 41 project started April 2019. This project consists of widening the road, improving drainage, adding sidewalks, and installing new traffic signals at Old 41 and Stanley Road. This is anticipated to be a 12-month project. Truck route signage began September 2019. This project consists of installing signs within the city to direct truck traffic around downtown. The project is anticipated to be completed by June 2020. The Cherokee Street Improvement Project is currently under design, and the right-of-way acquisition is also taking place. The anticipated bid date is this summer, with completion in spring 2022. Under the direction of Dr. Richard Bands, the Southern Museum, our Smithsonian-affiliated museum, continues to be a major driver of tourism in Kennesaw, drawing in more than 40,000 visitors annually. As part of the Silenced Voices initiative, permanent gallery labels were added throughout the museum to tell stories that are often overlooked or overshadowed. The objective is to engage museum visitors in a constructive and thought-provoking dialogue that makes history relevant to our modern, diverse community. One huge accomplishment was the reopening of the Railroad Education Center Library and Archives. The library and archives reopened to the public in the spring following the relocation of the collection to the new on-site repository. The library now contains over 3,000 linear feet of material categorized into 100 collections, all of which are available to researchers. The nationally recognized Smith Gilbert Gardens is continuing to grow under the leadership of Ann Parsons. Visitation increased by nearly 10% and field trip attendance grew by more than 40%, with participation from both Cobb County and Marietta City schools. The Gardens is developing a nationally recognized hydrangea collection. The Hiram Butler House, a National Registered Historic Site, is now landscaped with hydrangea paniculata, little lamb, and limelight bushes. The hydrangeas were planted in drifts of color, giving our visitors and lucky brides the most visually stunning backdrop for photos and weddings. The rose collection at Smith Gilbert Gardens is now one of only 2 in the country that is maintained with an organic regimen. Replacement roses must be able to survive potential insects and diseases without the assistance of chemical treatments. We'll be working on ways to communicate this conservation initiative along with rose recommendations for Georgia Gardens to our visitors and the community. Amid news of the steep decline in North American wild bird populations and driven by the growing popularity of our Great Backyard Bird Count event, we started offering monthly bird walks guided by expert birders. Participants learn what kinds of birds live in and migrate through Kennesaw, how to identify birds by sight and sound, and what they can do to support wild bird populations. Coupled with the annual hummingbird banding event, nearly 600 people have participated in bird-related programming. Buckle up and get ready, because Bob Fox and our Economic Development Department has not been idly standing by. The department has been instrumental in establishing relationships with investors and developers to create an exceptional mix of projects and developments for the city. Projects underway include Kennesaw Crossing, the electric cowboy is no more. A master plan mixed-use development, vertical construction is underway, has a 140 guest room hotel, plans for pedestrian connectivity to the Noonday Creek Trail and City Trail System. Project value is $65 million. Lewis House, a master plan mixed-use development. Substantial construction is underway. Includes 145 residential units and 10,000 square feet of commercial. Project value, $27 million. Completion will be this summer. Schoolhouse Village. We closed on the property last year. Site demos complete. The groundbreaking was in December. Engineering and architecture plans have been completed and construction begins this quarter. $50 million is the estimated project value. Core Property Capital, 14-acre mixed use. Schedule on all properties in January. Site demo will begin shortly afterwards. All the engineering and architecture plans are complete. 280 residential units, 10,000 square feet of commercial space, valued at $65 million. East Park, a master planned mixed-use development. Project site includes both commercial and residential parcels. 900 residential homes comprised of townhomes, senior restricted condominiums, market rate Class A luxury multifamily homes, and senior restricted multifamily cottage style homes. Restaurants, office spaces, retail shops, and an outdoor market. A 100 guest room hotel. The project value near $240 million. Terraces at Depot Park. 38 units substantially completed and sold last year. The value, $12 million. Pritchard Park. Residential project plans have been approved. Site work begins this quarter. The value is projected at $22 million. Fuller's Chase, townhomes. Construction continues. More than half of the units are under construction. Project value, $8 million. Royal American Senior Housing. 75-unit affordable multifamily residential project. Construction in progress. On track to open summer 2020. The project value of $12 to $15 million. And the villas at Hickory Grove. 82 townhomes on 17 acres. Project value, $20 million. Cantrell Crossing, North Main Rutledge site. This project entails 70 townhomes, priced in the high 200s to low 300s. This project is valued at $20 million. This is more than $540 million in private capital investment. I hope you don't think we're stopping there. There's so much more happening in and around the city, and the best is yet to come. Construction will begin for our recreation center this spring. We'll be breaking ground for phase 1 of the public-private partnership for a new environmental education and visitor center at Smith Gilbert Gardens. Phase 1 includes a new parking area, tripling the number of spaces available currently. SPLOST. We're waiting to hear from the county and will put together our list of projects and initiatives we want to move forward. Depot Park Amphitheater, the town green. Land assemblage complete and first phases of implementation plan have been completed. This quarter, we will develop passive recreational spaces and parking. Sardis Street extension and overpass. Continue to develop programs to identify problems and repair city storm systems, sidewalks, and streets. We'll pursue projects which will improve traffic flow, aid in pedestrian movement and safety, and anticipate the future demands of the streets within the city. We'll continue to seek out cost-effective methods to provide services to the citizens of the city. The partnerships we have established with others clearly help Kennesaw flourish and be recognized as a sound business partner. Our ongoing partnership with KSU School of Art and Design resulted in the installation of over 20 new pieces of functional public art in the downtown area. We partnered with Town Center CID in the Atlanta Regional Commission's Livable Center Initiative program to study Noonday Creek Trail connectivity. The partnership we have built with Cobb DOT will serve our community well in enhancing our commute options. Currently, we're working together on the Ben King Road and McCollum Parkway intersection project, which is currently under construction. This will improve the intersection by way of a roundabout or signal. The anticipated completion date is summer of 2022. The Cherokee Auxiliary Lane project is under construction. This project consists of extending the third lane of Cherokee Street between the fire department and Shiloh Road. The anticipated completion date is summer of 2022. The MacDobbs Road Improvement Project has been designed and bid. This project consists of improving the drainage, adding curb and gutter, and sidewalks. The anticipated start date is spring 2021. Cobb DOT will manage all of these projects. Now, what I just highlighted for our departments was last year. Let's take a look at a few highlights or accomplishments the city has achieved since we began our journey in 2016. We've added more than 4,000 jobs, added over 1 million square feet of commercial retail space, opened over 100 brick and mortar businesses, added 685 residential units, collected in excess of $500,000 in back taxes, established 2 downtown entertainment districts, built a splash pad, an inclusive playground, improved 5 community playgrounds, completed 20 miles of road and highway improvements, added curb and gutter and sidewalks in multiple neighborhoods, and built the tax base up. I mean, built the tax base up. It has increased 26% over the past 4 years, growing from just over $974 million to nearly $1.23 billion at the end of 2019. Yes, $1.23 billion. Our current median household income is $69,529, and our median house price is $265,000. Georgia was founded with a commitment on opportunity with an inspiring vision. And nowhere is that vision more in focus than in the city of Kennesaw. When people are successful with employment, have access to educational opportunities, and their families are safe and stable, they are more likely to reach their full potential. We have it all. Kennesaw is one of the top 5 safest cities in Georgia. This designation comes from the National Council for Home Safety and Security for its 2019 Safest Cities in Georgia list. Kennesaw State University is ranked among the top of national universities in 2020 Best Colleges. Their online MBA program ranked first in Georgia. They have a top-ranked music school, and the university was ranked nationally best for vets. We have an international airport, shopping and business districts. Cobb County School District is ranked in the top in Georgia. And so many other amenities located in the community, no wonder we have so much going on. Kennesaw is the place to live, work, and play. With a great effort from Becca Graham and the communications team, we have strengthened our communication capabilities. Their efforts resulted in all communication techniques and mechanisms in cooperation with public relations staff to be significantly improved for Kennesaw citizens and business owners. Specifically, they've completed a website update and overhaul, the creation of our first ever mobile app, the integration of the Cityscape logo, and we also staff a booth at events to promote the city. We are making the effort to engage more of the community and build on our strengths. And to help the city realize its vision, there are more than 80 volunteers who serve on boards and commissions for the city, providing guidance and leadership. If you serve in this capacity, thank you. Thank you for your contribution to our great city. I also want to acknowledge the significant effort and contribution of each of our council members, Mayor Pro Tem Pat Ferris, James Doc Eaton, Tracy Byers, Chris Henderson, and David Blinkhorn. Thank you for your commitment to the city. You have risen to the occasion. There's also another individual who's made the city a priority, Deborah Taylor. For 15 years, she served as our city clerk. She served 3 mayors, 17 different council members, arranged countless meetings, built agendas, reminded each of us where to be and when to be, and complete our financial forms before the deadline. And she did it all flawlessly. She may not be happy with me shouting her praises right now, but I want our community to celebrate all that she's done for our city for the past 15 years and to wish her well in her retirement. From the bottom of my heart, Deborah, thank you for being you, and congratulations on your retirement. It's truly well deserved. Dr. Jeff Drobny, also known as Iron Man or Mr. Accident Prone. You are the epitome of strength through consistency and dedication of performance. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your support. And thank you for your friendship. Ladies and gentlemen, every person, project, and commitment is helping to build a better Kennesaw. We are building a community of trust and confidence. You and your businesses are a great part of this community, and our success depends upon our interaction and commitment. It isn't about me or you. It's about one another. It's about lifting each other up and being there to do, to take action, and to accomplish. Together, we are building not only a great community, but relationships that will span a lifetime. Non sibi sed Alice. Not for self, but for others. Thank you for taking the time to be with me online and to learn about what's happening in the city of Kennesaw. Have a blessed day.